We are back in Hallowell, Maine. It is one of my favorite areas in the country. It is this cute little quaint town. The street is lined with some beautiful little shops. That's Lately's. It's a new pizza place. It was delicious. I did have a slice. But they also have like bookstores, antique stores, and of course we're going to go to my two favorite antique stores while we're here. The first one is the Rusticators Emporium, and of course we have our door greeter over here, Roxy. In this first booth there was these awesome shelves full of salt and pepper shakers. These donkeys really caught my eye. They were adorable, Japan, and they were marked at $12, which I thought was a fair deal because they are so cute. And then up here they had the deer knotters. I've had these before, and when they set just right, they rock back and forth. They're so cute. Some insulators up there. Over here there was a menorah, some ceramic ware, some bowls, and then this was so cute. It was a marriage, actually, a frog and mushroom salt and pepper shakers. I've never seen either one, and I think they look adorable together. Then I got distracted by the Wade Whimsies. I thought that was going to be the mermaid, but it was just a lady lounging. I've never seen that one, so I'm not even sure if that's a Wade Whimsy or not, but all right, let's keep going. I like those jug salt and pepper shakers, and this is, I believe, a Weller lily pad flower frog. It didn't say on the tag, and the bottom wasn't marked anywhere, but it might be the Woodcraft line of Weller. I've seen it before, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It was marked at $49, which is a good deal if it actually is the Weller version. And then over here, there was some jewelry in there I just kind of peeked at real quick. I wasn't seeing anything much. It was covered with some other things that wasn't jewelry. This rhinestone brooch caught my attention, and I think they wanted like 14 on it. There were other brooches in here as well. This was cute. It said Canada on there. Yep. So they were right at retail, so I had to pass on those ones. And then over here, I found my amazing coffee mug in this shelf about 9 months ago. That's about how long it's been since we've been here. And I'm like, no other amazing coffee mugs. But there was a cute Tanola bird in there. Some other dishware, some candlestick holders, a jar of, I think those were buttons, yes, there were more buttons below it. And as you can see, I love the exposed brick wall interior. It makes this place really cute, and if you can't tell already, they're really into some oddities, a lot of folky stuff, and also very much some primitives. So wide eclectic blend, not so much glassware, which is what I'm typically looking for. There's some, but I still love this place anyway, and I come here every time I'm in the area. And then I found these glass discs. I don't know what they're for, maybe crafting. If you know, let me know. They had like little stripes on them, and they were like pastel colors. It was bizarre. And then I found this ceramic ashtray, very MCM with those flowers on there. I thought it was going to be more of a stoneware heavy ashtray, but it was very lightweight. All right, around this corner, I went and found some more prints. There was a little baby print back there, but this little elf caught my attention, and he is adorable. He was like $12, and I thought that was a really good deal. I just wasn't feeling like kitsch today, so I did leave him behind, as cute as he was. And then there was this cute little ceramic vase. I think this is Bavaria, and it had a crack on the bottom, so I had to leave it. Let's keep looking. Over here, there was you got to look at the furniture while you're here, guys, because the furniture is also for sale. It's not just for display purposes. There was a nice plaid blanket there. And then over here, I found this cute little tin kids cup, some pottery vases, and then this necklace caught my attention, and it's not what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like a bird cage, and I think it was just like a door. Yeah. Not what I thought it was. Then I found all these little brass figurines, and I couldn't tell if they were modern or the vintage ones. And I was checking out this chicken here, and it was like one of those old school Spanish style chickens. They were all priced between like $12 and $14, and I still wasn't sure after looking at a couple of them if they were vintage or not, so I did decide to pass on them. And then around this corner is a new to me display case, and inside there was some really cool jewelry. They had a beautiful wedding cake necklace, but it was priced at like $50, so I couldn't touch that. But up here there was a really cool dichroic vase And for $20, I did swipe that up. And again, I will show you at the end of the video so you can see it up close and out of the case. Over here, this bird figurine caught my attention. I thought it was just going to be Mark Japan or something along that line. And I flipped it over and it was just numbers. So I'm not sure who the maker is on that, but I thought that was sweet. I think it was only like $14 too, so not a bad deal. Some brass candlestick holders, some more artware. And then way back here was an egg timer. It was, of course, made of lucite, and it had like that telephone cord in there. And I don't remember how much they had on that particular item. I don't remember seeing a tag on it, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. All right, let's keep going down over here. They had a fun array of homemade taper candles. They were $10 a set. And they also have like teas and coffees and little jams and fun little treats for you, which I love finding at antique malls. Pretzel is crying in the background. Over here, I was looking at this little pottery jug. It had a little cork in there. I'm like, that would make a really good weed pot. Doesn't have to be a container. It can be a vase. These cute little flower candle holders caught my eye for my personal use, not for resale. And I think they were $26 each. I just liked the like patina look to them. Another pottery vase. No marks on that one. And then there was another one over there as well. All right, let's keep looking. I love that light up there. And then around the corner, there was this artwork, which was from a Maine artist as well. And there was a couple pieces of their work here. And I love that. I don't know if that was a piece of a mantle, perhaps. I don't know. There's some jewelry I wanted to check out. Cute little neon bird. I bet that glows under a black light. And I was checking out this orb with shells in it. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw a glass, what I thought paperweight. But it was an apple. Yeah, probably Chinese if I had to guess. But it caught my eye, so I figured I would check it out. And then over here, this little nook was probably a closet at one point. And as I was walking in, I made a lot of noise because apparently on the side there is a wind chime made of glass, and it was a rooster. I thought it was pretty cute and colorful. In here, they had some old crocks and jugs and lamps and little old toys there. Just a little bit of everything. I found this cute little wall pocket, and it had this derpy little man on it, and I thought it was just so cute. It was $32 though. And not knowing enough about it, I'm like, I don't know. I think that's a little too much for resale. I did like that drawer of chests right there as well. And then, of course, there was some bone plates, some bingo numbers. Checking out this shelf, there was, I thought that was going to be like a lacquered wood box, but it was actually metal, which really confused me. As you can tell, I checked it over twice. And then up here, there was a little bit more pottery, some cute little kitschy dogs, some poodles, some advertising pieces. And then over in this next booth, they had some floral prints, which I really liked. This orange and black tin was perfect for Halloween. I almost got this blue chest because I thought, why not? Why not? It was only $48, but I ended up passing. I didn't need it. I liked it, but I didn't need it. Some wash basins there, more floral prints up on the wall, lots of Crocs. Like I said, this store is full of primitive style. I like that dresser as well. That was definitely too big for the van. And then down over here, I found some plantered, some mugs, and these caught my eye. There's an eye, but these caught my eye because they were matchbooks. I thought that was interesting. And then over here, there was another vase with some trees on there. And then, of course, Pretzel was a ham. There he is. Everybody was trying to say hi to him and love on him. And being the ham that he is, he had to like wave to everybody. Oh, there he goes. Hi. Hi. He's such a goober. All right, over here, this little nook has handmade notebooks, which I thought was pretty neat. And well, I don't know if they were handmade, but they looked like they were. They were just different. They had like owls and mushrooms and really retro themes going on. And then they also had some greeting cards. Cute little nook. Not the kind of stuff I'm looking for in an antique mall, but if I had an upcoming birthday or a gift I needed to wrap, they had all those supplies there for you. And then of course, I found a paperweight in the middle of this random booth. It was just a Chinese one. I didn't need it, but it was fun to find. Again, cute little cards over here. And then they also had the gift bags as well. So fun little booth. I'm like, oh, critters. Squirrel. All right, back to work. Let's get to the vintage. Over here, they had some like half dolls and cornucopia little planter there. More pottery. I like the prints on the wall, but that clarinet caught my attention because I thought that was pretty neat. I'm like, I've never seen an instrument mounted like that in a frame. And don't forget to look up. You always have to look up because a lot of people display their stuff up high as well. This little carousel had some jewelry on there that I wanted to check out real quick. There was a Lucinda pin right here. I think they had 16 on it, which is right about full retail. Maybe a little wiggle room, but I'm like, nah, 16, that's a little too high. That cute little star rhinestone one was pretty. And then they had a scarab bug one. A couple more necklaces up here. I think those are like Cracker Jack toy necklaces. And then they had a fused glass. It wasn't dichroic, it was just fused glass. It was only $10, but had it been dichroic, I probably would have picked it up. Some more little ephemera pieces, some apothecary jars, some weird stuff on the wall, some antlers. Yeah, a little bit of everything here. And then down here they had an old wallet. And then behind that, this floral crock caught my attention. I like the double handles. That would be perfect for a cup of soup. And they had a little Ciroc pheasant bird. I think those are pheasants. Tray. Some more lamps on top. Then around this corner, I like this lantern with the nail punch holes. I bet the light coming through there is real pretty. Old mirror up on the wall. This vase caught my attention. I thought it was going to be 3 separate pieces at first, but then I picked it up and obviously it was one piece, and cool piece of pottery. Again, that orange and black would be perfect for Halloween. Hi, Pretzel. I don't know what he's doing. And then down here in this shelf, there was some cute little figurines, some animals. And of course, we have the Knickknack Zoo coming up this weekend. I am still on the hunt for a few more pieces of Fenton. Look at this goober little pincushion shell turtle. So I'm doing all $1 starts. I am on Sunday the 24th, which is also my birthday, and I will be on at 9:30 Eastern time. $1 start, Fenton glass figurines, all animals, all critters. So excited for that. I could use a couple more pieces, so I'm on the hunt. Some presidential cards there. All right, let's keep going. We're now going to go down to the Hallowell Antique Mall, and I just wanted to show you the neighborhood a little bit. I love walking through here in the summertime with all the flowers on the box windows. Window boxes? Window boxes. Look how pretty they are. And I love, this is Slade's. It's a coffee store, bookstore, and everyone like hangs out on the front, and everyone's so friendly. The purple and yellow together looks so good. And then this is someone's just garden. The gate goes to somebody's yard. Some beautiful roses. I think those are roses. I'm not sure. And then of course we're almost there. The buildings here are so good. Like there's row houses on the left, which are more businesses now. And of course there's some businesses on the right side. I think that's just I don't want to say a bank, but they do their lawn so well and their gardens are so pretty. I just wanted to show them to you. They're very well manicured. We are almost there. Pretzel is leading the way. Of course we can walk to both places. They're about 1.5 blocks from each other. Here we are, Hallowell Antique Mall. All right, again, it's been about 9 months since I've been here, but right off the bat, I found this micro mosaic bracelet. It was $24. I did snag that. I thought that was a really good deal. And I will show it to you again at the end with everything else. I found this lamp, which I thought was interesting. They said it was Victorian. I'm not so sure about that. Some candlestick holders, more candlestick holders. Is that a boomerang? I missed that one in real life. This was really pretty. It kind of reminded me of Pools of Light, but no, not quite. Not even close, actually. But hair receivers. And I hung out in this particular spot because there was a nice big fan right there. And I was cooling off for a minute. Though the weather has been really nice in Maine. It's been in the 70s, so I can't complain too much. This little nook has jewelry that I usually load up on. I don't think it's the same vendor. When I got here, I'm like, I don't think this is the same one. Because he used to do bags of jewelry. And these were all individually priced and very different from what I would find. I did get a couple pieces. I got that purple faceted one and this pink rosette beaded one as well. And I will show you those at the end also. And then in here, I was checking out more necklaces and more beautiful jewelry. There was a malachite, but they had it priced at $50 there. That red one is super pretty. And those bracelets, they had marked as celluloid, which they probably were. I hadn't seen them before. And then up here was a beautiful Murano bird. Stunning. I think they had that at $65, which is not a bad deal. I think it was $65. And then down here was this amazing Native American fetish necklace. They also had some Native American rings with some coral and turquoise. Beautiful green rhinestone necklace. And then over here, I'm laughing because I see this brooch and I'm like, are those teeth? And yes, the tag said animal teeth brooch. I don't know what kind of teeth they were and I did not buy it, but I thought it was interesting. It was also $39 and I just don't know the value of teeth brooches. Let's go on to something a little bit more my speed. All right, there was some lucite grapes over there. They were $29, which was a good deal. Some decanter and glasses there. Cute little kitschy mouse. Some tiki mugs. A little bit more pottery. And then down here, I found this beautiful green Murano ashtray. Heavy silver argento on there. It had its original tag, but at $65, I couldn't do it for resale. It is beautiful though. And then in this case, they had a couple more Murano paperweights and they had them priced at $65, so right where they need to be. So pretty to look at. Perfume bottles over here. And I was trying to check out the price. That gold and blue one I think was $39. And then I got distracted by the items down here. Cute little trinket dish there, some salt cellars. It was $36 for the set of 6. And Jocelyn and I were talking, they make really good marble holders. So if you can find them cheap enough, pick them up for marble holders. Kate Spade purse in there. All right, nothing I missed. Then over here, I have bought from this booth before. And then I thought, is this even the same vendor? Apparently they changed hands. It's a new owner. And so of course, whenever that happens, like vendors come and go. And I'm like, maybe it's a different vendor. I'm not sure, but this jewelry in here seemed to be all modern and nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I'm particularly looking for. That one actually caught my interest and I was trying to look at it closer, and by the time I got to it, I could see the price tag and it was $16. So at $16, I just had to leave it behind. As pretty as it was, the blue beads are just plastic, so. All right, over here, I found a Blanco vase. I'm like, do they know it's Blanco? I love finding stuff when they don't know what it is because usually it's cheaper. But they knew it was Blanco and it didn't matter. I wasn't going to get it anyway because I'm not shipping it. I'm traveling and that is way too big to ship while I'm traveling. This really cool hour shape mug caught my eye. Little stoneware. And then down over here they had some jadeite mugs and a couple of critters that I wanted to check out. Little glass critters, not Fenton, so kept going. All right, down over here, I saw this wall thing with geodes on it. Wasn't so sure about that. I like this little Chinese scramble paperweight. It is probably antique. It was only $8. I know people like them. I'm torn on them. I don't really particularly care for them, so I left it there for someone else. I have to like the stuff I sell. I have to feel passionate about it. All right, here is some pottery tumblers. It was like $23 for the set of 2. They were marked on the bottom, and I'm like, I could use some pottery cups. I have mugs. I don't have any cups. And then this cute little blue and white vase also was adorable. I think it was like $14. All right, and then I found a basket of jewelry. And they were marked right around $8. This one had a real pretty celluloid brooch in there, but that was the only one I really wanted in there. So at $8, I did leave it behind. If it had at least one other thing that I wanted, I probably would have picked it up. Some faux pearl necklaces over here, some red beaded necklaces. And I went through all of them because I just have to. That's just my personality. Didn't see any I absolutely needed to have. There's some clip-on earrings in there that were pretty cool. And then they had a bag of crucifixes. There was about 3 of them in there, but they had it marked at $23. So if it was 8, I probably would have got it. And then down here, I found a little Hull duck planter. There was some Libby carousel animal, Collins glasses, and more pottery. This was a local, well, Maine, I should say. I don't know local, but artist out of Maine, and they didn't have the artist's name on there, but I love their work. Like, it is so pretty, but they were a little pricey, so it didn't make sense for resale, but I did love it. It was very talented work and different. Look at that little face bowl back there. And then kind of like some mixed media down here. I love that moon one in the center. Very well done. And then over here, I found these marbles hanging out. They were definitely vintage marbles, but they were shooters, some cat's eye. Nothing that was like screaming, take me home. I have sold a ton of marbles in my day, and I just kind of look for the fancier ones nowadays, or glowy ones. Some clothes up here. I don't really do anything with clothes. All right, let's keep looking. Another primitive style booth. And then around the corner, I just wanted to give you like a kind of broader view of this antique mall. I have found some really cool stuff in this particular hutch on the left because it's hidden. Not today though, it's just some primitives in there. Nice orange basket, little mixing bowl, some wreaths, eucalyptus, little carousel of jewelry over here. And nothing too excited that I need to have. They were right around $5 each, which is not bad, but nothing was really like eye-popping. All right, let's keep going. Down here, they had a bunch of shelves with more ceramics. I thought that pink vase was going to be a Hager, so I picked it up to see if it was marked. It was not marked. Little creamers over there. And then this huge jar of marbles. I think it was only $20, which was not that bad for some vintage marbles. I don't have my black light, so I gotta start bringing my black light into stores with me. Like, it's in the van, but I didn't have it with me, on me. Oh, look at that cute little rocking horse. And of course, they had some wood boxes, wood crates, more jewelry on this bookshelf, which I thought was a great idea. Great use of space. If you have books back there and you have some spare space, jewelry. I love this little flower brooch. It had a big blue rhinestone. It was only $3, so I did pick that one up. I'm like, I like that. It's large. It's pretty. And of course, I sifted through the rest of it, and that was a little palm tree. I don't remember how much that one was. It was a little rhinestone palm tree. And then they had stamps too, stamps in little baggies. I'm like, okay. This cuff caught my attention, and no, not that. The cuff, there it is. And I'm like, okay, I want to check that out. It's modern, definitely modern, but I like the flowers on it. It was not coming off. It was not going to come off. I'm not gonna fight it. All right, let's keep going. The next couple cases also have some beautiful jewelry in it. And this is the one that had some craft bags in there. The tag literally, like, it said bits and pieces. So I didn't spend a lot of time on there knowing that they were craft bags, but I just want to make sure I wasn't missing one that was a regular bag of jewelry. And then after like digging through here for a minute, I realized there was some beautiful brooches to my left that should have caught my attention to begin with. And you see that purple, like lilac one with the blue rhinestones. I did end up buying that one, and that one caught my eye too. I like that one, but it was like, I want to say like $12. And then this one I think was only like $3. So I went with this one, and there was a beautiful sun up there too. There it is. Like, I didn't even look at the price. Was not exciting enough, as pretty as it was. This definitely caught my eye. They said it was a 1930s necklace. I love the metalwork. I love the shape of the beads. Did not need that clip. I don't know what that was on there for, but it was only $6. Now there is some patina on the metal, which I even like it more because of that. It shows its age. And then up here, I guess was another double strand old blue necklace. That was also only like $3.50, so I picked up that one as well. And then everything else up here was kind of on the pricier side at full retail. I was looking for a price on that locket. I think they had it at $16. People have been liking the lockets lately, so I've been keeping an eye out for those. And then I found this beautiful starfish brooch. It was sterling, and I think it was $26. They said those were amber beads, and they were kind of pricey. I think they were like $45 to $60 depending on which one you were looking at, and I'm not sure if they were or not, but super pretty, very lightweight, so that's kind of what threw me off about it. And then down here was another glass pendant with some flowers in there, also very pretty. I think it was priced at like $16, and I believe that was sterling as well. All right, let's keep going over in here, checking out this case because I've had some good luck in here before. And again, I'm not sure if it's the same vendor. I'm like, did they also move? I'm not sure. I love the bracelets that were up front, but they were right at full retail, so pretty to look at. Some gorgeous stuff in there. I see a Snoopy. I missed that while I was there, but I see it now. And then down here, some Natrashka nesting dolls. And over here, there was a little bit more jewelry on the top. There was a Steuben bowl down there with a little snail handle. That daisy brooch was amazing. Again, I think it was like $12, so right at retail. Checking out the jewelry over there, see if there's anything I absolutely have to have. Look at that little poodle. He's adorable. I don't remember how much he was, but he is so cute. And then they had some cameos that were, I think, reasonable price. All right, then this wall, this wall of jewelry, I guess it's a carousel. It's a huge carousel, I should say. I have not been here in 9 months, and I think everything is the exact same on here. I remember seeing some of these, and I don't see anything new. They're only $3 each, so it's still worth looking through it, but I don't think they have stocked this since the last time I was here. Which is fine. It's just I was expecting in 9 months there would have been something different or new. All right, I kept going. I didn't see anything I had to have. A lot of it was just plastic, beaded, vintage, but not what I'm looking for. And then a lot of creepy dolls. Keep going. Dolls creep me out. Oh, and then I found this celluloid fan. It had some, I think it was like an English theme, like Buckingham Palace, stuff like that on there. And I was obviously struggling to even get it open, but it works really well in case you need a celluloid fan. And then on top was a set of pink perfume bottles, but they looked a little too modern for me. So here's a quick little look at everything I got today in Hallowell. I love this 1920s, 1930s necklace. It is gorgeous with that filigree, even a little patina on there. It makes it even nicer in my opinion. We have some beaded necklaces. Of course, I love the purple, so I had to get that one. This was so interesting. I've never seen a tiny little dichroic vase like this. I was hoping it was going to be signed, but I'm not seeing any marks now that I have it all up and close, but beautiful little vase. Probably my favorite find of the day was this micro mosaic bracelet. It is gorgeous. Look at these tiny, tiny little daisy flowers in there. So pretty and great condition. And I got this fantastic little, I guess, violets, maybe? Floral brooch, another flower brooch. And this is acrylic, but I still love the rose-shaped beads, so I picked that one up. And of course, I love this double strand. These beads are like a little moon glow shimmer shimmer, and then some glass blue faceted beads as well. And then I also got this signed pottery little wee pot. So that is everything we got today, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.